Alright guys, I'm back with another video for you guys. And not just back with another video, but I've got to talk about some sad news when it comes to Shrek. And not just Shrek, but Donkey as well. I gotta talk about both of these things. Yeah, I'm going to be talking about the donkey thing first, and then I'll be talking about Shrek next. I also want to point out that I am now officially, I've now hit the, 500 sub mark. I had to make sure I was actually there, but I actually finally made it. So I finally made it, for you guys, to 500 subs. So thank you for the support. I really appreciate it. I'm now halfway to 1K subs. Woohoo! I know that might be not as woohoo as, people who have tons of more subs. There's people out there that have like millions of subs, but the fact that you guys are here anyway and supporting my channel is very nice. Sure, I'd like to, have more subs so I can actually, make money off of my channel and also access store stuff. Yeah, I haven't decided yet, but I'm thinking about selling stuff on the YouTube store. Because I do have a comic book I'm wanting to kind of start selling. Because I want to make more of them and all that, but I don't know. I'm trying to be careful on how I promote that stuff because, we have Hollywood and all that and other people, that have stolen people's ideas and all that, so I want to make sure mine don't get stolen. Because even though I made the comic book and I have the evidence that it's actually mine because I have the original copy, it doesn't mean somebody can't go around and steal it, And I have to go through fighting them in court and all that. It'd be so annoying. So, yeah, but I am happy that I am now officially at least hit 500 subs. So, we got 500 more before I get to a super reward video for you guys. Speaking of videos, I do have a big one coming up, which is why some of these videos have been getting delayed, because you have to make these videos and all that. I have to make them, So it's coming up, but it's going to be a little bit. But, I'm hoping to get that stuff done pretty soon. But I think I'm pretty much I've said about everything I want to say about this. So let's go ahead and talk about the first, news. We'll talk about the sad news first, and then we'll talk about the frustrating / sad news. Maybe depending on who you're talking to. The first sad news is apparently the donkey from How to Train not How to Train Dragon. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of a different movie. Shrek. I don't know why I said that. I guess because there's actually a dragon in Shrek, and he's married to Dragon and all that. That's what I think they're married at least. I don't know if they ever actually officially got married, because there are occasions where cartoon characters never get married but still have kids and all that. That's how it is in Adventure Time too and all. I got that kind of stuff. But I don't know. But I'll just say they're officially married and all that, and that's kind of that with dragons and all that. So that's kind of where I kind of misspoke in there. But no, apparently Donkey was actually based off of a real donkey here. I forgot the name of this donkey, but sadly he passed away about a few weeks ago. He passed away. I don't remember which day, but actually, was it a few weeks ago or was it last week? I can't remember. It was in January. I do know that. Because we've also lost the person who created Thomas the Train too, which is a cartoon I still haven't reviewed yet. I need to review down the road. But yeah, apparently that person, because I didn't even know Thomas the tank engine thing was that old. Apparently it was an inspired thing, like I think from a book series, from years ago. surprisingly, it took them so long to actually make it into an actual cartoon and all that, which is surprising, I think I was reading it was from the 30s or 40s, so yeah, the woman who made it would have been, I don't know how old she would have been exactly, because, well, actually, if she created it, I guess technically she would have been at least in her 90s, I would think. I don't know, I can't remember if it was the 30s or 40s when it was made, but definitely pretty old, but it's still sad, we lost that person and all that. And I've heard some bad things about Thomas the Tank Engine, the new show and all that, So I've seen some clips of it, and yeah, it kind of looks kind of weird, but I can't really say anything because I haven't seen the original Thomas the Tank Engine thing in years. So yeah, that'll be something I'll have to do down the road. But yeah, the whole donkey thing is the same situation. I did not know donkeys apparently can live to be. Well, I was looking up on Google that it says they can live to be. Well, it has different estimates. One says about 20s to 30s, and then other says from 30s to 40s. Now, the oldest living donkey, which died in 2002, was a donkey called I forgot its name too, but it was like it was like I think 51 or 52 years old. That's freaking crazy. Like, I did not know they can live that long. No, I know technically over time, I know some things are living longer and longer. That's the thing with humans too. Like, over time, we're gonna end up living longer and longer. Over time. So. That's pretty, crazy to think about, but yeah, I don't know, but it's just kind of crazy thinking, how much, people are gonna, like, how much, maybe in 100 years or so, like, a donkey could end up living, to be like 70 or something, or, actually I would say probably about maybe 50s and all that would be more likely, and then the 70s would be very rare and all that, kind of like human beings, how human beings, a lot of them were living to their 80s and 90s, but now they're starting to live from their 90s to 100. There's people that are starting to break 100 years old. And that was a thing back in the day, but very rare, very, very rare. I guess maybe it could be the donkey's case. Maybe it just happened to live to its 50s and all that one from 2002 that died and all that. I don't know. It's just crazy. Like I said, human evolution and all that. It's just crazy how, over time, people just live longer and longer. But we did have that person in the 90s that, so far, is the oldest living human. That's 122 years old. At least on record. There could be people who have lived that long, or even longer too, you never know, but that's so far the longest somebody's lived, 122 years, and I think they died in the 90s, I think, I could be wrong, but that means they outlived a bunch of stuff too, so, yeah, I know I'm kind of going off topic here, but I'm just saying it's just kind of the whole fascinating thing about what age can do over time and all that, it can end up making people and animals live longer, and maybe plants too, I don't know, but yeah, I will say rest in peace to the donkey who inspired Donkey from Shrek. You will be missed. And now let's go ahead and talk about the other thing I want to talk about, and that is Shrek 5. Shrek 5 is getting delayed until, I guess, December of 2026, so it's getting jumped like 6 months, being pushed 6 months ahead and all that, because of the Minions. Yeah, they're making a third Minions movie, Not that we don't already have enough of the Minions as it is. Now we're getting a freaking third Minions movie, a third one, and possibly another Despicable Me movie down the road too. I mean, I don't know. I'm just like, I don't know. I'm like, they're making a bunch of money, but I'm like, at the same time, I'm like, I feel like they might be overstaying their welcome. I guess I can't really say that because I haven't seen the fourth Despicable Me movie. I have seen the Minions Rise of Gru. I've seen that. There's also the other Minions movie, and I don't know. I was thinking, I think maybe I'd have to watch the movie again, but I think Minions Rise of Gru was better than the original Minions. I can't remember. I don't remember on that one, but I do know Despicable Me 3 was probably the weakest of the three. It still wasn't bad, but definitely had a lot more problems and all that, and started feeling kind of like, it was starting to kind of feel like it was running its course a little bit. And yeah, I don't know, I'm going to say this too, I will admit, when I was younger, I actually did like the Minions. I actually did like them at first. I thought they were overhated, you know. I feel like it felt like Scrappy-Doo. Yeah, I'll say this. I think Scrappy-Doo from Scooby-Doo is way overhated. And I guess that could be one because I didn't grow up in the 80s and all that, you know. Like when he was like, well, the 70s and 80s were like he was being shoehorned in and everything, like the Minions are. But at the same time, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't think he was really that bad. But the Minions, yeah, the Minions apparently are like freaking everywhere. They're freaking everywhere. Like, you cannot escape these guys. They literally have like, apparently, I'm not sure if this is true. I'm hoping this isn't true, but I think they literally have a freaking fart gun. A freaking fart gun that actually smells like farts. I'm not even kidding. I'm like literally serious. Like, why? Like I know people could get gassy, but I'm like that. I'm hoping that ain't true because I'm like, yeah, I don't know how parents would feel about their kids buying a freaking fart gun that actually smells like farts. I do have a fart gun upstairs from the Despicable Me movies, but not one that actually smells like it. And I don't know. I'm kind of like I kind of don't even really. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's all right. It's an all right toy and all that. Like I kind of bought it just to have, you know, just from the movie and all that, but I'm just like, yeah, I don't know, I don't know how I feel about that, but also, yeah, I noticed too, a lot of the Happy Meal toys, like when Despicable Me 4 came out, they had Happy Meal toys, but I don't think there was any Gru or Lucy toys. I could be wrong, but I think I saw pretty much the Minions. Yeah, that's the thing though. Their Illumination is focusing heavily too much on the Minions movie and all that, and well, the Minions in general. And I feel like it's getting kind of stale. You know, I'm like I feel like it's just freaking stale. You know, like they need to freaking cut back on these damn Minions. Just freaking cut back on them. You know, I'm like, I'm even saying that I'm the one who I thought in the past was. These things were not as bad as people were saying, but now I'm like, not only we have 2 Minions movies, you know, but like, we have Shrek 5 getting delayed because of the freaking Minions, and then also, you know, we got the 3rd movie, which is why this is getting delayed for the 3rd Minions movie. So we need another one, you know, we need a freaking another Minions movie, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't know, I don't freaking feel like it really needs it. I mean, maybe it could be good, I don't know, but I'm like, Shrek is something, you know, people have not seen in years. I mean, the last time we had a Shrek movie was back in, you know, what was it, 2011, I think? Yeah, 2011, I think? Well, 2010 or 11, I can't remember what year it was. I think it was 2010. Yeah, I think it was 2010. That's when we had the last one. I've reviewed the movie, but I can't remember when what year it was, but yeah, it's just kind of like, I mean, I'm just like, I don't know. I mean, people may not be looking forward to this because at this point it'd be the 5th movie in the franchise, but we've also had a huge break from this movie. I mean, it's been over a decade since we last had a Shrek movie, you know? I mean, compared to like Kung Fu Panda and all that, and we have Toy Story and all that, you know, like, at least they took a pretty long break from it. I'm not saying, you know, that, that doesn't mean it's necessary to make one, unless it's actually good, which I'm hoping maybe the movie will be good, but I don't know. I mean, they made freaking 4 Toy Story movies, and the freaking, the 4th Toy Story movie was awful and all that. And I mean, to be fair, that technically wasn't because they made too many of them, that just because it was written badly. Same with Ice Age, which, by the way, apparently Ice Age has a release date that's coming out a couple days before this movie now. Unless it gets pushed back again, but I don't know if it'll get pushed back too far because it is Shrek, and Shrek is popular. And actually, if it weren't for Shrek, we wouldn't have the DreamWorks intro either. Its theme, I mean, technically DreamWorks, had the other theme, that played, and all that, and the 90s and all that. And very early, 2000s, before Shrek 2 came out. And then they swapped to that logo. For a long time, though, it actually had a different theme, and all that. Actually, technically, every film had its own custom theme, but that's the thing, though, and they kind of based the theme off of that. It's a reorchestrated theme of the Shrek theme, which, by the way, does appear in the first Shrek movie, too. So, clearly it's a big thing, So clearly, I don't know why they would just delay it like this, I mean, I guess technically the Minions movie is more popular. I don't know. I'm also curious to... here's a hunch. Now, I'm not going to say this is actually true, but I'm wondering, are they delaying it, Shrek 5, to... Are they delaying this to December because Ice Age 6 is coming out, or 7, or whatever you want to call it? Because I mean, I guess technically it's called Ice Age 6, but you have Adventures of Buck Wild 2 and all that. I'm like, actually, if you look up on Google, it shows. I mean, I guess it's showing images of this now, but when they first started announcing it, it was just showing, it was pulling up Buck Wild as the 6th movie. And now it's not, now it's like, now it's starting to pull up images there. So I'm curious, I still don't know why people, I mean, I guess technically it is the 6th movie in Ice Age, but it was more of a spinoff, or it was supposed to be a spinoff, but it was a poorly received film, and it was awful. I'm gonna tell you guys, it was a freaking awful movie. Like, it looked very, it looked unfinished. That they got rid of all the voice actors who played, in the original, 5 films. They got rid of the voice actors. They also for some reason had, they had the, they had the, like, animals and all that, like the normal animals you find in the Ice Age world in the Lost World. I'm like, it's supposed to be a lost world, Not to mention, they had Crash and Eddie, focusing on them more than Buck. I mean, they focus on Buck, too, and having this weird, female character and all that, like, it had some, even though we've never heard of the, this theme, this female character and all the other characters on this team before, with this Horton guy and all that, and I don't know, the whole movie was a freaking mess. It was a mess. It was supposed to be a TV show. They turned it into a movie and all that, and I'm just like, I don't know, I just think it was stupid that they did that, but it looks like they're bringing back the voice actors there, but I don't know how well the movie will do, because, number one, it's Disney, people are not very fun with Disney anymore, but number two, they basically gutted Blue Sky, and they're basically, pissing all over their ashes, basically, is pretty much what they're doing. They're like, they're using the remaining films, basically what they were doing with, well, what the story was, at least. I don't know if this is true, but I would say it probably is, because people are coming out and saying it. what Pixar was originally going to be. Yeah, back in, I mean, before I talk about Shrek more, but I'm going to talk about this real quick. I don't know if I brought this up before, but back in the day, before Bob Iger became the CEO of Disney, Michael Eisner and his team were going to, they had a contract with Pixar and all that. And they were having they had a deal to make a certain amount of movies. They had a contract. And I'm guessing they were going to end up making more of them. The problem is, though, they were going to make more of them if they actually worked well together. The problem is Michael Eisner and John Lasseter just did not work well together at all. They kind of butted heads and all that. That's what I've heard, and this whole mess. But they were going to try to, they were going to make, these different movies. Some of these sequels didn't look bad. I'll say, there was a Monsters, Inc. 2, Lost in Scaradise, where Mike and Sully get sent to the the other world, and all. It looked pretty cool. I kind of liked that. And then there was also there was going to be a sequel to what was it? Toy Story 3. There was, we ended up getting Toy Story 3, but we were going to get a different version. And I guess, I don't know, I think if the story was going to be, there was different stories for it, but there was actually, I think I saw some early test images of it, so there was actually some animation for it, but it was going to be part of Circle 7 Animation, which sadly got shut down, and Disney acquired, Pixar and all that, when, they came on, which was one thing that Iger did that was actually good for Pixar, but unfortunately it kind of didn't last forever, and they kind of fell. They didn't fall as bad as the other studios, but they still fell pretty bad and all that, But the fact is, though, is that Blue Sky is basically the same thing. They're basically they acquired Blue Sky when I got Fox. Basically that's something they basically got when they got Fox. They were basically buying it, I think, just to have Fox's library to build Disney Plus and all that, which I think was probably a dumb idea because I think they spent building the library was kind of cool. Good for them, I guess. I think they shouldn't have built freaking Disney Plus, though. They should have used Hulu and all that, because they were going to get Hulu anyway. I don't know why the hell they decided to freaking do all this. I don't know. It's just freaking stupid. But yeah, they just happened to get Blue Sky in the deal, and then they shut them down a couple years later and all that, which pissed a lot of people off, which is what making me wonder if Ice Age 6 is actually going to do well, because I don't think I'm going to go see it in the theaters. I don't want to see it in the theaters because they kind of, they screwed over a shit ton of employees, and all that, and they cut the original studio down that made it, I feel like it's just not going to be the same, I don't know if it's going to be the same. All the other, I guess 4 out of the 5 Ice Age movies, they all kind of felt the same. The first one definitely didn't feel like, it felt like a completely different movie. Probably my favorite of the Ice Age movies, but yeah, it felt like it was telling a great story, and it was trying, it was having the characters bond and all. The other ones just feel more silly and all that, which it wasn't a bad thing, but it kind of got competitive after a while and all that, and yeah, I don't know. I just don't know how well this is actually going to do. But that's what Disney's doing. They're basically doing what they were gonna do originally with Pixar and all that. They're gonna take out the film's library and all that and make some. And they're going to try to make actual, movies. You're going to try to make actual sequels to these movies to keep the franchise alive. And the problem is, though, you got to remember, Pixar Blue Sky only has 13 films. They only have 13 films. 13 of them. And, by the way, two of those 13 films are actually, I don't think they're actually owned by they're not actually owned by Blue Sky 100%. I think they were just films that were teamed up. So they actually can't make a sequel to these films. And all that. I heard they were actually talking about making, heard something about, which I don't know if this is true, but I heard something about making Horton Hears the Who, with the egg thing, because there was a short that Dr. Seuss made with an egg and all that, where Horton sits on an egg and all that. Kind of weird and all that, but yeah, that was kind of a very weird short, but yeah, I remember that, and then I remember there was something about, I think the fish blew his brains out. I don't know, it was a very weird short. Yeah, I don't know what the heck was what was with that, but yeah, it probably wouldn't have had that in the film if they actually made that, but it got cut and all that a long time ago. I think it's because Universal kind of took over they took over pretty much all the Dr. Seuss movies, you know. Of course, until they go into public domain, which won't be happening for a while, you know, unless they extend the contract. But yeah, they really can't make any sequels to those movies, though. You know, I don't think they can make any sequels to those. Maybe they can make live action because it's their version, but again, I don't know how well that would work because technically they don't actually own the rights anymore. And all that, you know, some of these, that and the Peanuts movie, you know, the Peanuts movie, like, that one I think is definitely, I think I've heard they are making a sequel to that movie, but it's going to actually be on, you know, another platform. It's going to be on, I think it's something called, what was it, Apple TV or something like that. I've actually never heard, I've heard of Apple TV, but it's something that doesn't really come to mind when I think about it, but, that's pretty crazy there, but then you got the whole thing with Ice Age 2, Ice Age and Rio, which I think they're making Rio 3 too, which I've heard that was in development. Ice Age 6 was too for a while there too. I heard it back in 2022 before Iger even came back that it was announced. Because again, I don't think there was supposed to. The other film was not supposed to be a movie. It was turned into a movie at the last minute and all that. It was supposed to be an actual TV show, you know. So that's why everything looks so sloppy, you know. I think why there wasn't the voice actors in the movie, you know. But yeah, basically that's kind of the thing, though. You know, I'm like they have like all these. They don't have a lot of movies to go off the sequels and all that. So so when they're trying to, you know, again, do what do what they did like with Michael Eisner did back with Pixar and all, I don't think it's gonna work very well, you know. Because I actually think there's even less films they can actually go off of, you know. Because again, a lot of those were actually sequels already. I mean, again, they can make more Rio movies or something, and they can make Robots too. But I'm like, again, it's just like, I don't know. I just don't think it's gonna go very well. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's why Shrek though here has actually delayed their movie because I know in the past Universal was always trying to get more money out of Disney. There's rumors that when they actually when Disney was buying Fox, they were trying a big amount of money, you know, because they knew they were going to be too stupid to actually like Iger was going to be too stupid and actually spend that much money on freaking Fox, you know, which is again I still think it's a stupid idea, and it's definitely biting them in the ass at this point because they were forced to acquire Hulu. So they had to pay Hulu and all that, and that's just kind of more money and all that they have to spend, and it's this and that. But yeah, I don't know if this is actually true. I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if Shrek actually, you know, was delayed because of that. I don't know. It's probably because it's probably got delayed because of you know, again, the Minions are they're this powerful money machine and all that, but it definitely sucks. I will say it definitely freaking sucks that the Minions are basically putting their foot up, you know, people's behinds and all that, you know, or I guess in this case, giving them more of the middle finger than anything, because I'm just like, I'm just like, you know, and this is a movie people have been wanting to see for a while. Well, some people, I'm curious to how it'll turn out, but I do know there's also a Donkey movie in production, a spin-off movie, you know. But the fact is, again, both of these movies got delayed and all that. It's just, again, crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy they both got delayed, but it's pretty much what they did. They pretty much delayed it until around that time. Also, I want to clarify too. I could be wrong with this, but I'm pretty sure there's actually going to be a couple movies that are releasing. No. Sorry, I'm thinking of Zootopia. Zootopia is actually coming out this year. I keep thinking it's last year still. Sorry, I'm thinking about that wrong. But I don't think they do have a lot of sequels still coming out next year and all that. But I mean, a lot of studios really do. A lot of them have all this stuff. They have all these sequels and all that. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, sometimes sequels can be good, but I'm like, we're getting a fifth Shrek movie and a fifth Toy Story movie. I mean, Shrek, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about Shrek because we really haven't got any details on it yet. I have heard that Lord Farquaad's voice actor has confirmed that he might be in the movie too. So I'm guessing maybe he'll be back in the movie, or they might actually just have him play somebody else. I don't know. I have a feeling Lord Farquaad's he might actually just come back in the movie. That would be kind of interesting, though. But I'm like, how are they actually gonna do this? Like compared to like Kung Fu Panda. Yeah, Kung Fu Panda. I will say they did do this thing in the fourth movie. I don't want to spoil much about it, but they kind of show you at the beginning of exactly what's gonna happen. They kind of already spoil it for you at the beginning of the movie, but basically they kind of go back, they bring back the villains and all that, from the first 3 movies and all that, and throw them back in there and all that. So yeah, and I wonder if that's what they're gonna do, but I'm like, how can they do that? How can they actually bring back the villains? Because I will say in Shrek, at least 2 of them I know are dead. Lord Farquaad and Fairy Godmother are dead. Prince Charming, I don't know if he's dead or not, because at the end of the movie, it reveals that he, like in the 3rd movie, that he actually, the castle stage thing falls on him, but it knocks his crown off, but it looks like he fell into the hole. So I'm like, I don't know if that's an animation error or did he actually die, I know the 4th movie, the villain, Rumpelstiltskin, I know he's still alive, though, because, he's still alive, so, I don't know, it's just gonna be kind of interesting to see what they'll actually, do, I'm actually curious, like, I don't actually know what they'll do, but, I don't know, I'm just like, I should probably be careful, too, on how many movies you milk and all that, like, because, I mean, some of these movies can get multiple sequels and usually be fine, but a lot of times they do get kind of stale after a while, And I just, I'm like, you can only tell so many stories with these movies, but, I mean, like I said, sometimes they can be okay, sometimes they can be they can be fine, but then other times if you go too far, then there's too many movies, and that's kind of how I feel about like Toy Story 5. I'm like, I mean, Toy Story 5, we have gotten some details on the movie, but what I've heard too about that movie is it's just gonna be, it sounds like Woody's gonna come back, so they're gonna undo the ending from the 4th movie and all that, and I'm just like, I don't know. I mean, I didn't like the movie. I told you guys, I hate Toy Story 4. I hated what they did to the characters and all that, but I will say, them bringing back Woody, I don't know, that was an ending I kind of didn't mind too much, because I'm like, yeah, I will say the whole purpose of the movies was, the toys are meant to be played with and all that, but I don't know, I don't feel like it was a bad ending. I kind of wish they would have kept Buzz Lightyear and Woody in contact with his friends like they did in the 3rd movie, but But, yeah, I don't know, that was probably the one thing I didn't mind, but, yeah, a lot of the other stuff I did not like about the movie, you know, but, like, I thought the animation kind of looked, I don't know, it started looking way too real and all that, and I noticed Pixar is kind of going back to the more cartoony-ish looks, I think I've noticed, and I like that. I like them going back. I want them to go back to the cartoony looks, you know, because I kind of prefer that over making them as realistic as possible. That's kind of the thing a lot of, like, video games are doing, too. They're starting to go to realistic looking, and I feel like if you make them too realistic, I'm just like, I don't know, I kind of think it makes it kind of look weird, you know. I mean, some games, they can look good, but others it cannot, but yeah, that's what I saw with the Mario Kart game, too. I saw when they were releasing the trailer and all that for the Switch, the new Switch coming out, you know. I actually didn't bring that up in the video, but yeah, the Mario Kart games, or Mario games in general, are starting to look more and more realistic, and I kind of wish they just look more cartoony, you know. And I mean, that might be just a weirder to pit gripe to point out, but yeah, this kind of started back in, you know, the Wii U era. It started getting kind of, when they went to HD, they started making everything look more and more realistic and less cartoony and all that. But I don't know. But I don't know. I'm just kind of saying, I kind of just don't know what to say there. But I don't know. I don't know what to say about Shrek 5 either. I do find a very weird coincidence that it's going to be released right after Ice Age 6. It's gonna release right after that, and all that. And I mean, maybe they didn't know about that, but because I don't think we had an actual release date yet for Ice Age 6, but these studios tend to know more about this stuff than we do, so I don't know. I just think, again, I find it just really funny how they actually, how they do that, you know, how they just again, how Universal in general, because DreamWorks is owned by them now, you know, but how they somehow keep finding ways to screw Disney over and all that. Like, it feels like they're actually doing it on purpose and not just by coincidental, but I don't know, but I just don't know. I don't know what to say about Shrek 5. You know, there's no plot or details or really much of anything. I mean, there's the voice actor of Lord Farquaad that has come out and say it. So that means he's going to be including in the film, but that's all we really know about the film. We don't know anything about anything else. You don't know if the kids are going to be older because Shrek has those kids or what, you know, but that's why I haven't done really a prediction video on this yet, because I don't really know what to do with that either. But I think I'm going to go ahead and probably end up letting things go from here, though, because I don't have a lot else to say, but yeah, I am really pissed. I am still pissed that, again, everything, it's the Minions movie that would, delay that. And again, I'm somebody who doesn't mind the Minions, I didn't mind them in the past. Now they're starting to kind of get on my nerves, too. I guess I can join the I Hate Minions club, right? Wear an I Hate Minions shirt. But, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know, hoping they don't end up canceling Shrek, 5, because, I mean, like I said, I don't know if the film's going to have anything, I don't know anything about the film, but it still would be interesting to see what they do, But, I'm going to go ahead and end up letting things go from here, so see you guys later. Tell me what you guys think about this in the comments below. Bye-bye.